All right, good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Tuesday, June 12th of 2018. We got a lot on the calendar to discuss today, but we'll keep it brief-ish. First and foremost, welcome to the morning market update. For those of you that are new, welcome to the team, to the family. We do this every day from 9 a.m. And we trade live. Then after the morning market update, we trade live to about 11 in the group. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for the Federal Reserve. Today, their meeting starts. And we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about oil. I'm going to give you guys a really cool insight into Home Depot that some may have heard about. Talk about oil, and most importantly, talk about this summit between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. I'll give you my insight on it. I got a bit of a different opinion. You guys know that. I think that's why you show up to these morning market updates. First and foremost, let's take a tour around the world through the markets. In Asia, Japan's up 0.3%, Hong Kong up 0.1%, China up 1 percentage point. Some people see China as a big winner of this entire Kim Jong-un and Trump summit. We'll talk about why. India's up 0.6%, so you can see green across the board in the Asian markets, led by the Chinese market, up almost a percentage point already. All right, in Europe at midday, London's down 0.3%, Paris is down the same, and Frankfurt futures in Germany are flat. Futures in the United States, Dow Jones is flat, S&P's flat, NASDAQ's flat, and crude oil is up 0.3 of a percentage point. So as you guys could see, momentum started in the Asian market and tended to fizzle out. We're on the back of a pretty strong rally over the last couple weeks, and I think upside's going to be harder and harder to come across the next several sessions. And I do see a little bit of sell side opportunity in potentially today's market and over the next couple days as we go into Friday. The reason Friday is important is it's the quad witch. It's the expiry of futures and options on stocks and indices. And in addition to that, we got a couple of volatility events still on the calendar. Wednesday, we have the FOMC meeting minutes, the interest rate announcement, and economic projections, the Fed dot plot. There's going to be a lot of insight to gather from that meeting. The FOMC meeting starts today, by the way, and the announcement and rate hike will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. We will be trading that live with our subscribers, so we're going to have extended coverage in our live trading room to encompass that report and that event because it presents a real good opportunity. There's going to be a little bit of chop right after the announcement, but there's going to be a big move that will ensue in equities, gold, also in oil. So we'll talk more about that as it approaches tomorrow. In terms of some other assets, like we said, crude oil is up 1/3 of a percentage point. We do think crude oil's got a little bit of upside at this moment, and it's not an upside that is going to take us to $100 a barrel. It's just upside to give back some of the losses or to recoup some of the losses. We think it fell too far too fast. It needs to rebound a little bit. If you're getting long, it's a bit of a counter trend move at this point on the short term. And if you're looking to short a rally, that's probably the better opportunity so far as the next couple of weeks goes. And I'll talk about why in this morning market update. Gold's down 1/10 of a percentage point. Bitcoin's down 0.5%, back inside of the 6,000 range, 6,843 after a hack on a South Korean exchange. And Treasury yields are flat at 2.96%, but they remain near that 3% level. They're pretty close, which is putting pressure on borrowing costs for a lot of companies and individuals as well. All right, so this morning we had the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and it came out pretty positive. Inflation increased a little bit on the core front. So there's two reports. One is the month-to-month, which includes food and energy prices, and the other measure is the core number, which excludes food and energy. When you look at it, it came out at 0.2% as expected on the overall headline number, but the CPI minus food and energy was actually up 2.8% versus 2.2% expected. So we are seeing an increase in inflation. How does that factor into what the Federal Reserve is thinking? We had one heck of a jobs report this 2 Fridays ago now. All right, the non-farm payroll numbers came in really, really strong, like historic type of strong. And now we have an increase in inflation. So the Federal Reserve's got all the reason it needs to increase interest rates. The question is, will they increase them more than they've already stipulated? In which case, that'll be a severe reaction in the market. So it'll be volatility as they price that in. This morning, we also have Redbook chain store sales. 1 p.m., we got a $14 billion 30-year note auction. So fixed income markets will be active around that. Treasury budget at 2 p.m. Let's talk about this meeting between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. It was a pretty muted reaction in terms of what the markets did. All right, so they did meet yesterday. There's a lot of speculation on whether or not they'd shake hands. They shook hands. They had some negotiations. As far as what came out of the meeting, it wasn't anything that the markets had hoped for. Let's put it this way: the markets were not impressed, but the markets always expect more than actually happens and overreact to smaller things. So the final outcome of this was they just met. Think about this. It's like the market expected. Imagine meeting somebody for the first time. Maybe you guys go out and you have similar business ventures. The expectation was for two people to meet cold, never met before, to sign and shake hands on becoming partners in a business venture, essentially. That's not likely. And we knew at TRADEPRO Academy, we knew that there wasn't going to be any kind of tangible takeaways from this meeting. But at the same time, many people are saying this could have been a publicity stunt just to come together. Publicity stunt or not, whatever the intention is, they met to talk. All right. And for those of you that are in sales, you know it's all about relationship. You're not playing a strategy, you're playing the person. And you're not playing them, you're collaborating with them. So they met. There's future talks that are going to happen. Donald Trump has made his intention to invite Kim Jong-un to the White House. There's going to be more talks. Kim Jong was kind of on the more friendly side as well. He was smiling a lot in photos. And I challenge you guys to find a picture of Kim Jong-un smiling in North Korea. Doesn't happen. It's illegal to smile there. And in addition to that, so what came out of the deal, Donald Trump said that he's going to cease to do these military exercises with South Korea. All right. Here's the interesting part. The big winner of this so far, this meeting, is not North Korea and it's not the United States. It's actually China. All right. Because the United States and South Korea ceasing to do some of these military exercises takes pressure off of China. China's building little islands in the ocean at the moment, trying to claim land because of the radius. I think it's 100 kilometers around an island makes it their official land. They're trying to secure a channel of hot water. So what's happening here is that China sort of won this negotiation, but I think it's just starting. One of the neat things I saw Donald Trump say to Kim Jong-un was that he said, instead of launching missiles, you could have the world's best hotels. It's like, I noticed during these missile launches, you have nice beaches. Instead of missiles, why not have the best hotels? Why not create an economy around your country? It's a nice body of land. And that's not arguable. And then that kind of fueled some rumors that there's going to be a Trump Pyongyang in the next couple of years, a Trump hotel going up, which I thought was funny. So basically, here's what, if you wanted to summarize this negotiation and what happened yesterday, they kind of agreed to agree. Them sitting down and talking it out is a first step to a longer-term cooperation with North Korea. North Korea did not sign any denuclearization pact. There's two of them available out there. One of them is a hard denuclearization, which means your site gets broken down and there's a lot of analysis on an ongoing basis to make sure you meet the requirements. And then there's a voluntary one. He didn't sign any of them, but he made his intention known that through negotiations, that is a possibility. He's committed to denuclearization. Whether it's a publicity stunt or not, you're not going to know that until months out from here and until you see some future talks. But I think there's a sincere effort for the two countries to come together here in the Korean Peninsula. That would be a good de-escalation. All right, you look at South Korea, and it's one of the most beautiful places. There's a lot of development in terms of technology, land, business. It's a big pocket of business in Asia. So we're looking at this. We're going to follow through with it. Nothing massive came out of it, but there is going to be future talks. And I think that's why the market is neither taking it as a negative or a positive. It's sort of in between. All right. And that's what you got to just listen for more developments. There's going to be future meetings. We'll keep you guys posted. But that ends. They met. It was a historic meeting. It's the first time that a president's met with the North Korean leader. So cool stuff. I like it. To me, it's a positive. Some people will see the negative in this and criticize it. To me, that's positive. To me, humanity coming together and collaborating is the way to go. That's the way we've done it on this earth for hundreds of thousands of years. And this goes into a whole different thing, but our modern society teaches us that human civilization's only been around for 5,000 years. There's evidence that proves there's hundreds of thousands of year old human civilizations, and they weren't much different than us in terms of physiology, which blows Darwin's evolution theory apart. Anywho, point is, I don't believe in the strongest survives. I believe that through collaboration, we all survive. And that's the only way. And I like this. This is a very positive thing for the world. Nice summit. I'm almost like Dennis Rodman. I'm almost going to start crying. All right. Here, I'll give you guys on to Home Depot. We're going to can that and put it aside. We're going to talk about Home Depot now. Home Depot's made a pretty interesting move. I think it's coming a little bit too little, too late, kind of as they say, but still potentially a really good opportunity for the long term. Home Depot is putting in $1.2 billion over the next 5 years to expand its online shopping operations. They want to add 170 distribution centers so it could reach 90% of the United States population within a day. That sounds like Amazon a little bit. So Home Depot is saying, you know what? The Amazon effect is crushing retail. Let's get on the online platform and invest. There's going to be good opportunity in the Home Depot stock for the long term. If anyone looks for investment opportunities, or if they already favor Home Depot, this is more reason to like the stock over the next couple of years. It's a long-term play, though. You don't buy this and check it up next week and say I'm up or down. It doesn't matter. This 5-10 year holding period, something in your retirement portfolio. I like it. Fair and plain disclosure, I do not own it. Do not plan to buy it, but I'm going to be watching it and doing some trades on it because there's going to be some volume coming in because of that. All right, last but not least, we're going to talk about oil in under a minute. Saudi Arabia oil production jumped in the month of June. And this is very interesting. This has the opportunity to derail this entire OPEC production agreement. And it's also got the opportunity for oil to get really volatile. And I think the next move will be to the downside if you continue to propel this forward. What ended up happening is, here's my opinion. All right, so let's turn off everything else. I'm going to give you my opinion of it. I think Donald Trump's sanctions on Iran hit the oil market harder than he had thought. And because of that, he now went up to Saudi Arabia and tapped them on the shoulder, said, we need you to produce a little bit more to cover that shortfall. And because of that, Saudi Arabian production jumped by 85.5 thousand barrels a day. That's literally a drop in the bucket for Saudi Arabia. And the number itself is not a massive amount. But the point is that they're increasing against what they've agreed with their other partners to cap production. All right. So no matter how you look at this, it's not the size of the amount of barrels that they've increased by. It's the intent to actually increase it. All right. And that just says they're pretty much ready to give up on the production cut agreement that's supposed to expire December of this year. So that would mean oversupply will come in. What's the purpose of oversupplying a market in the beginning of the summer? To have cheaper gasoline prices. And I think that's where Donald Trump envisioned tapping Saudi Arabia to say, put some more output out there. Gasoline prices are getting expensive. We need to stimulate a little bit of the economy because there's a higher gasoline price or lower gasoline price. Sometimes people say that's amazing for the consumer, but to a certain extent. So I do think gas price is a little bit high now. I drive a car that requires premium, so I feel it every time I pump how high they are. And in Canada, they add like 40% tax on gasoline. If you look at breakdown, the little pie chart on the pumps, 40% of it is tax. And I got no problem paying tax. When I'm driving home and hitting potholes the size of me, I don't like it. Anywho, point is Saudi Arabia's increased their production. It's not a big increase, but they have increased. Stay tuned. Vienna has a meeting June 22nd, and there's going to be a lot that comes out of that. On June 22nd, potentially we're going to find out that all these partners are going to walk away from the production deal, and then they're all going to just oversupply the market, which means oil prices are going to fall down. So that's why I think the downside, sort of the right side, the next couple of weeks. There's a lot of this baked in, a lot of expectations. Even if they don't scrap the agreement and they agree to produce more, that's still a net negative. The market will take that better, but it'll still be bearish on the price of oil. So you guys be careful with oil in the next couple of weeks. Listen to the news. Oil is a market that you absolutely have to do your research and be on top of the news wire on a daily basis. If you don't have a news service that's live and you're trading oil, you're asking for trouble. All right, because inevitably there's going to be a nugget that gets dropped from one of these oil ministers, and oil is going to move against you and wipe out your stop. And you say, what happened? Well, you need to be informed with the newswire. You have to have some kind of news service. There's a free one. Ryan Squawk does it with a 5-minute delay. Trade the News is our partner, and we actually have access to discount the product as a reseller, but only for our paying subscribers. That's one of the benefits they get. What was the free one? Financial Juice is a free one. So you guys can check that out for the free newswire. You guys take care. Have yourselves a great day. I got to turn around and open up the trading room. I'm running a little behind schedule. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in every morning. It's because of your unwavering commitment that we're here for you. And we look forward to seeing you in the trading room. Comes with a 14-day money-back guarantee. It's worth a shot, especially knowing that on Wednesday we're opening the room for FOMC. Take care. You guys have a good day. I'll catch you around. tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. All the best. Manage your risk, trade pro. Look for early morning weakness and early afternoon to late afternoon potential recovery. I do think the bids are going to be getting hit today. You guys take care. Have yourselves a great day. Goodbye. All right, trade pros. Let's jump into the room here. I'm going to do some levels for you on the S&P 500. Set up some trades. I'm motor mouthing it today. I think it's a coffee and 10 hours of sleep that